Hi there, Xeonexis coming in. And today we're going to be talking about the new mode of the tournament, which is called the Battle Royale. Alright? So, after days of battling this tournament, I finally found an optimal strategy which can be applied both for Confederation and for Resistance. Guys, I want you to take note that this is not the only strategy applicable to this tournament. Alright? There are many strategies, but so far, this is the one that I have found and it works for me. Alright, so now let's look at my replay of my tournament. So let me explain the tournament mechanics. So you start with a map, alright? So there are different types of map for this tournament. However, you need to take note of one thing. All of these maps have one thing in common, and that's the center is always going to be vacant. So your goal here is to get to the center of the map or secure the center of the map. However, in order to do so, you need to have more units. So as you can see, you are not able to build a base, but you will be starting with a couple of riflemen, grenadiers, and a sniper, or maybe for Confederation, assaults, heavy assaults, and flame assaults. The most effective boosts you will be using in this kind of tournament is going to be the scouting boost, which is for infantry, or infantry scouting boost, and the common attack boost. Preferably, you must use gold to get higher chances of winning. Alright? So now, the goal here is very simple. Map slowly shrinks over time. Alright? So, here you will notice that you are able to see a lot of supply containers. However, supply containers don't give you resources, but rather they give you units, alright? Infantry. However, there is going to be those big containers which will give you more powerful units, which we will see later on. So here, the game begins. My goal here is to get infantry scout boost and explore the whole map as wide and as many as I can, alright? I'll explain later as to why. So for now, my goal is to collect a lot of resource containers. At the same time, explore at least 80 to 90% of this whole map. You may have noticed I have spread up my units in order to get as much bigger area to scout as I can. Alright? So whenever you see an enemy, if he is alone, feel free to pick him off. But if he is not, then disengage. Alright? So here, you may have noticed me getting a lot of resource containers. So here is why you need to explore the map. This big container right here, you can't touch this, alright? You need to let a unit stand here and wait for the bar to go full. So here's the thing. If you have explored the map, for example, like this one, and a container like this appears, then it will indicate on your map just as shown here, alright? However, if the map is unexplored, just like here in the dark place, it won't indicate in your map. Alright? So that is why it is very important for you to scout the whole map. Because as you may have noticed, this may only be one big container, but in reality, there is at least 2 containers here in the map. And I am pretty sure if the container is here, then the second one is probably here at this area where the enemy is probably trying to secure it now. Alright? So that's the very big reason why you need to explore the map as wide as you can, because you need to know where these big containers will spawn so you can get more powerful units. So let's proceed. So here you just have to wait. So here, always remember, take care of your units, alright? Every single rifleman or every single assault scout counts, alright? So if you're like, for example, I have 4 units and then you suddenly see the whole army, just retreat, alright? Make sure that before you engage, group your units together before you engage the enemy. So unlike this guy, the error of my enemy right here is just spreading his units too thin, alright? Which is also a good strategy. However, what he did not notice is his units are slowly getting picked off. So here, it begins, alright? The zone will become red then there's a timer. So this zone right here is currently yellow, which means your units can still stand or go here in this area. However, when the timer hits 0, it will become red. And when it becomes red, your units will no longer be able to go here, because if your units go here, they will instantly die. Alright? So which is why a good objective to take note of this map is, one, to explore the whole map so that you know which area of the map the big container is going to supply or going to spawn in. And number 2, you need to control the center. Alright, so the center is going to be an open area with no jungle in between. This is to ensure that in the late game, the resistance players will not hide in jungles. Alright, so now here you can see me collecting a lot of these resource containers. So guys, just take note that resource container will continue to spawn all over the map. So here, see, since I have already explored this area, then I know that there is going to be a resource container or a big container spawning here. So that is why it is important to explore the map so that it will indicate where the big resource container will spawn. You also need to take note and always know where the enemy is. Alright? I know that the enemy is probably around this area, so I'm gonna try to contest that. However, I don't know what kind of units the enemy has. So my goal is simple. I place 1 infantry here, collect a couple of resource containers, and try to scout and see if I can engage the enemy. And that is one thing I did. So here, you can see all my units move towards the center because I wanted to secure the center first and collect a lot of resource containers. Be sure to collect them, guys. And here you can see me see another resource container, a big resource container spawn. So the enemy has already collected this one here. So that gives me an idea that the enemy is probably heading to this one next. So what I did was secure this resource container and order some of my units to see what the enemy is up to. Alright, so here you can see me collect this big resource container and the enemy is trying to contest it with 1 assault, but that is a bad idea. Alright, if you're going to contest a resource container, be sure that you have your army with you. Again, every unit in this game counts. So here you can see me set 2 of my 1 armadillo and a couple of riflemen try to see or scout this area, and I have noticed that the enemy still hasn't went to this area yet. So I'm like, hey, this is a good spot. So here, this is another free container for me, and I'm still wondering where the enemy is. The last time I know that he is in this area. So right now here, the area turned red, so your units can no longer go there, and if they will die instantly. So here you can see me collect a couple of jaguars. So guys, take note, the longer the game goes, the more powerful units you will have. Alright, so here you can see me place my units around the center. I want to have the center. Alright, in this kind of game, guys, you want to be the person who is going to be attacked. Alright, the person who sets his unit to the center first always wins, or wins most of the time. So as you may have noticed, I have already placed my units here on the high ground. So that gives me better positioning than the enemy. And the enemy's mistake here was engaging. that was the enemy's mistake here. So you may have noticed me get 1 of my units to collect this big container and another 1 of my units to collect that big container. Alright, so again, your goal here is simple. Scout the whole map. Never let the enemy get as many containers as they can, and if possible, secure the center of the map as early as you can. Take note, guys, that there are some mechanics of the game here, okay? Armadillos can place mines. Alright, take note, armadillos can place mines. And basically that's it for today. That's it for the tournament. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any more questions, feel free to comment down below. That will be it. The next is over and out.